Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, good morning again. We're back again. This time with the fourth and short segment, NFL Week 11 of the 2023 season. D-Dub is at it again. The Mad Hatter.
Yes.
Let's ride.
Let's
Denver
ride.
Broncos.
Let's ride.
Their game is on the tilt for us to talk about today. The Broncos won their game, their Sunday night game, 21-20. Well, we'll get into as the last game, but hey, we got, I owe some apologies to Sean Payton. I didn't think he had a good hold on this team, and
a lot of people do.
Yeah. He didn't. So, but hey, make sure on the sound of my voice, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share our YouTube channel. Shout out to all of those that have supported us during this year and during the years that we've been on, man. We're trying to grow this thing. If you really want authentic, as you can see, we have authentic conversations about sports. And we're as authentic as you can see. One of our members, he's up there taking his. He loves sports so much as he's taking his dog to the vet.
Yes,
and the dog is barking in the passenger seat.
Yeah,
he's on. So don't be surprised. He'll be back on again to holler at us. Shout out to DA. So like I said, this is authentic as we get. Yes, we try to be polished, professional. We are, but life happens, and things happen. But I'm glad to come into your living rooms or wherever you're hearing this, and on the podcast side, hearing what we got to offer when it comes to sports. We love this. We're passionate about this, and we're prepared to talk about that. Also, the folks that's on the podcast side, on the sound of my voice, make sure you give us that five-star review on Apple, on Spotify, and make sure you leave us a comment. Daryl, why should they leave us a comment? D-Dub, why should
love us or hate us, man. We want it all. Just give us some feedback.
Yes.
What we can do and get better, and we appreciate it all.
Yep. So thank you. Shout out to Debbie, she's watching. Appreciate you. She wants to hear NFL. Let's go to it. Let's go to it. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns yesterday, which Dan could have been come on this morning to answer for what happened. The Steelers almost won this game, first of all. And this would have been like their seventh time this year they won a game when they was outgained by any and everything. And they continue to do it with defense. And Kenny Pickett not being the best. He was 15 of 28 yesterday, but I'm gonna get this to the Browns. The Browns faced some adversity. Shout out to them. They're 7-3. Let me just read this from the AP. As Dorian Thompson-Robinson sat in the back of a golf cart, swapping through text messages, overwhelming his phone, wide receiver Elijah Moore slid into an empty seat behind Cleveland's rookie quarterback. I'm going to sit next to the man, Moore said. Thompson-Robinson laughed, a most inspected star, delivering on a promise to improve his second NFL start. Thompson-Robinson completed 4 straight passes on a clutch drive to set up Dustin Hopkins' 34-yard field goal with 2 seconds left that gave Cleveland pretty much a walk-off win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I was telling my dad, he's a huge Browns fan. I says, man, you got to believe, man, in the Browns. I think they're going to win this game, man. And I had my trepidations about Thompson being the starting quarterback when Deshaun Watson got hurt, and I thought they was going to go with my other man, and they didn't. And the coach, he definitely hit on one with this. And let me just see this with Thompson. Thompson was 24-43. I think he threw the ball a little bit too much. They had no interceptions. Had no TDs. 1 interception. They run a game with subpar, to say to speak. Hunt and Ford, they both rushed for 67 yards combined. Thompson rushed for 20. So, but that was a defensive game. Cleveland has a serious defense. I think they're number 1 in the league. I have to check the stats. But hey, I'll give it to D-Dub. Your thoughts on the Steelers and the Browns?
Well, neither one of these quarterbacks lit it up. They averaged 3.8 yards throwing the ball. So yeah, Dorian Thompson-Robinson threw the ball 43 times. Everything was short, nothing long. He had one pick. And Kenny Pickett, no picks for him.
Yeah.
But he just, a pedestrian performance. But, this was definitely both a defensive game, old school game with the defense playing really, really well. Shout outs to Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren ripped off a 74-yard run
Yes.
in the start of the second half, third
Mm-hmm.
quarter. And he is Pittsburgh got one on with him, man, with him and Najee. I don't know if Najee has went to the back burner. I don't know what the deal is with that, but he's Jalen Warren has been getting a lot of carries in the last couple of weeks, and he's playing very well. Again, Pittsburgh, with all this, Pittsburgh still had an opportunity to win.
To win this game, yes.
Win this game,
Absolutely.
and they scored nothing in the first half. I mean,
Nothing.
it was 10-0 Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and they scored 10 points in the second half, and Cleveland just got that field goal to put them over. So, good game overall. Like I said, a win is a win. The Browns would take it, and we said, "Oh yeah, this is what it's going to be in this AFC North. These guys are going to be beating up on each other." So, Cleveland's next few games, they got. Let me see, they got the Broncos, who's playing really hot. So, the Broncos, Rams, Jaguars, Bears, Texans, Jets, Bengals. So, I mean, the Browns got winnable games. I mean, especially after,
Yeah.
the Jaguars, the Bears, and Jets and Bengals. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but it's doable. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they might get up in there.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I'll read this one more. Pittsburgh was outgained for the 10th straight week, and quarterback Kenny Pickett, 106 yards, couldn't do much against Cleveland's top-ranked defense, which forced 9 punts. So, like I alluded to earlier about, Pittsburgh winning games and being outgained by the other team. That's kind of synonymous with their defense, man.
Yeah.
So, shout out to them with that. Shout out to Brown fans. Y'all have something to look for. The coach, what's the coach's name for the Browns? He thought he saw something because we're not in the locker room, right?
Stefanski.
Yeah, Stefanski. He saw something. Yeah, we're not in the locker room. We're not in the sidelines. Stefanski saw something. He said he's gonna rock with Thompson, man, and he did, and it worked. So shout out to the Browns.
They move on.
They move on. They're 7-3.
7-3. Game behind Baltimore.
Who's 8 and what? Baltimore's 8-3, I believe. Yeah,
8-3.
Yeah, so they're half game behind Baltimore. So let me move on to the next game: the Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Watch some of this game too, and this game was crazy because the Bears,
what's up?
Leading, and in the last 2 minutes, they forgot how last. So let me just read this from the AP. David Montgomery, go ahead, 1-yard touchdown run with 29 seconds left. Against his former team, lifted the Detroit Lions to a 31-26 comeback victory over Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears on Sunday. The NFC North leading Lions 8-2 overcame 4 turnovers, including Jared Goff's season-high 3 interceptions and a 12-point deficit over the last 3:06 to rally to win. So, like I said, I was watching the Red Zone yesterday, and absolutely, Jared Goff had his worst game of the year. I said, man, he had reverted back to.
They was ready to talk about him. They was ready to talk about him.
They was about to get on that ass, and as Mike Mills always alludes to the show about this as being Jared Stafford.
Yeah.
He thought, I was like, man, what is going on? I says, why are they reverting back to this? I said, this team is way better than the Bears. And then finally, their defense woke up with 3 minutes and 6 seconds left and said, oh, no, we can't lose to the Bears. The Bears are awful. The Bears are god-awful. And we need to pull this game out. And they do it with the 1-yard touchdown run. And then I believe they got a safety at the end. Also, man. So by the numbers, Goff was 23 for 35, 236 yards, 2 TDs, 3 interceptions, as we talked about earlier. Justin Fields, 16 and 23. I think they put him in a better position to win. 169 yards, 1 TD. That's too much to throw the ball for him to be throwing the ball 40 times, I think, in my opinion. But he also used his legs too. He was killing them. If you watch this game, Fields was absolutely killing the Bears on with the run game, man. He was 18 for 140 yards. Bear was 16 of 35. Montgomery for the Lions was 12 of 76. And Gibbs helped out with 36 yards on the rushing tip. D-Dub, your thoughts on the Lions and the Bears?
Yo, shout outs to the Lions, man. These guys are 8-2 right now.
Yes.
You know, when's the last time the Lions been 8-2 going into Thanksgiving break?
Hey, and with that said, this coming Thursday, the game will not be a filler in the back of your living room as you watch the game. As the game is on the background, you'll probably be tuned in. It's been a very long time.
A very long time that I can remember, because the Lions have sucked so bad.
Yes.
Over the years, every Thanksgiving, man, they was just either you ate and then you went to sleep on the game, and then you woke up and then, you know, it's either they lost. 9 times out of 10 they lost. It was just an easy game. But this time around, this year, 2023, that's not going to be the case.
Nope.
This team is walking into Thanksgiving 8-2.
And they're going to beat the hell out of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. Hey, I hope, man. I'm pulling for the Lions, man.
I am too. It's a great
Goff. Yeah, Jared Goff, man. He was perhaps, they said, the worst game in 3 years with the Detroit Lions. Man, the fans was booing him. It was awful. He was awful. But they turned around in that fourth quarter, 17 points in that fourth quarter. They was able to get it done. Jared Goff, kudos to him. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. You know, hey, man, you know, we talk about the NFL and we talk about, you know, I know I say, you know, lose. And, you know, these guys got something to play for. They all playing for something.
Yes,
but, you know, I'm only looking at it from the fan perspective. But from these guys, they're playing for jobs, they playing for money, they playing for a lot of different things. And you know, these guys, shout outs to Chicago, man. They still, you know, even with the 3-8 record, they came out yesterday and had played an exemplified game. And you know, they tried to stay, they stayed and made it competitive. And, you know, Detroit came around and found out that, you know, it started thinking, you know, hey, we are better than what we're doing right now. So, you know, very good game overall if you didn't watch. Total yards, 338, 334 first downs. Yeah, man. I mean, the Bears should have won this game. Time of possession, 40 minutes for the Bears to 19. So, I mean, Detroit only had the ball for damn near almost just 20 minutes of the game. Yeah, man.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So, you know, hey, they beat who they're supposed to be. They're supposed to beat the Chicago Bears, and they did. So, you know, kudos to them. And they move on.
Yep. They definitely
8-2 and sitting on top of the division pretty.
Yeah, I don't think that nobody's going to challenge them for the division spot, man. So I definitely don't, man. Let me move on. The Arizona Cardinals and the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, he almost turned into a pumpkin yesterday, but he got it together. And let's just read this from the AP. C.J. Stroud was asked if he think twice about making certain throws after he was intercepted a season high 3 times, almost like golf yesterday.
Throwing the ball away.
And Houston's win over Arizona. Steph Curry don't ever stop shooting, you know. I mean, the Texas standout rookie said, I don't have no shame in my game. I definitely got to be smarter, but no confidence is taken away from me. And I'm going to keep letting it fly. I mean, you know, shout out to him for saying that, hey, I gotta let it fly. He gave the Steph Curry analogy, you know, for football purists, maybe like Brett Favre, you know, he's a gunslinger, you know, but that gunslinger, you gotta be accurate. And
be accurate.
Yeah, you definitely gotta be accurate. So let me do by the numbers. So the Texans win 21-16. The Texans go to 6-4. They're like my second best story in the NFL, behind the Detroit Lions story. They're 6-4, because they had the whole Watson wasn't playing with them, and their head coach. It's just been a really good feel good story. C.J. Stroud, he was 27-37, 3 interceptions, like we said, 336 yards, 2 TDs. Kyler Murray, he's back, 20 of 30 for 214 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Singletary, I should have started him as my fantasy guy instead of Chai yesterday, but I didn't. He was 22 of 112 with 1 TD, and his longest one was 21 yards. James Conner for the Cardinals, he was 14 of 62, no TDs. Kyler Murray also ran in one, and his longest was 22 yards. So the Texans improved to 6-4. Cardinals looks like another long season for them. They're going to be 2-9. I don't know. Do they draft a quarterback next year? I don't know what they do as far as what do they do with Kyler Murray, man. Let's start there.
Yo, bro, I have no idea, man. I don't even know if this guy wants to be there, if he wants to play. There's so many stories coming out with this.
Does he want to play Call of Duty?
Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. I mean, I thought these teams call themselves vetting these players when they come into the league, and you kind of figure out what their mindset is. Is it solely football? Is it they want to be they brand? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to vet all this stuff out. Because these guys come in here, man, and they have so many other distractions other than football. So, with that being said, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but CJ Stroud, as far as the Texans, CJ Stroud, he started off rocky, 3 interceptions the entire game, but he came around, and the defense for the Houston Texans, um, played better.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the win, 6-4 for the Houston Texans, and they are right there, right behind the Jaguars. Right. And the Jaguars are 7-3. So this should be a little bit. This should be fun down the stretch here. With how many games they got left? Let me see here.
6-4. 7 more games left. Believe it or not.
7 games left, and they got who else? They got the Jaguars this Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very entertaining. That's a 1:00 game. So yes, the way the Houston Texans is playing, it's a winnable game. They can win. They can go. Matter of fact, they're at home. So Jacksonville got to come there. So they're at home. So they're at home for Jacksonville, the Broncos, at the Jets, at the Titans, the Browns, Titans. I mean, these are winnable games for the Houston, man. So, but they got to start with
the Jaguars,
knocking off the Jaguars, and they already beat the Jaguars at home.
Yeah,
I mean in Jacksonville. So if they could get this one, this would look good, look really good for them.
Gotcha. Let's move on to the next game. The LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks battle in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, as the Rams defeated the Seahawks 17-16. Rams rallied from a late deficit, and the Rams snapped their 3-game losing streak. Let me read this from the AP. Matthew Stafford left the field hunched in pain after a disastrous flea flicker, ended with Stafford taking a massive hit to the chest while throwing an interception with the. And if you didn't see that play, yes, he took a real nasty hit, man. Legal hit, though. When Stafford caught his breath, he got mad, and then he led the Rams to his fourth quarter comeback victory since he did it in the Super Bowl. Lucas Harisic made a 22-yard field goal with 1:31 to play, and Jason Myers missed a 55-yard field goal for the Seahawks with 3 seconds left in Seattle 17-16 victory on Sunday. Stafford, by the numbers here, Matt Stafford was 17 of 31, 1 TD, 1 interception. Geno Smith was 22 of 34, 233 yards, 1 TD. Freeman for the Rams he rushed for 17 for 73 yards. Carbonet for the Seattle Seahawks was Carbonet was 15 of 47. Kenneth Walker was 4 of 18. And Nakua, the new threat for Stafford, he had 7 looks, 5 receptions. 270 yards, man. So I don't think there's no shade to Seattle. I think the Rams are a good team. They've had some missing pieces go, but they're prideful. They won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Seattle, I again, no shade to them. They probably should have beat the Rams. They was a field goal to the left from
To the
winning
right.
this game. To the right,
Yeah.
excuse me, wide right. And
yeah,
it is
man.
what it is. Go ahead.
If homie if he hits the field goal, man, we ain't talking about this.
Yeah,
We
we ain't
talking
talking
about
about that.
Seattle's being tied with San Francisco. So again,
Yep.
they lost by 1 point. It sucks. But they still in the hunt. Let me see what Seattle.
Yep. Niners had lost 3 in a row this year. Right? So we
Yeah.
don't remember that. But now, everything's pretty.
You know what I'm saying?
Niners beat up on Tampa Bay yesterday.
I'm not ready to tear down Seattle. Seattle's a pretty good team. Shout outs to Geno Smith. But he's another good story. Last couple of years, he's been playing excellent. And kudos for Pete Carroll for believing in him. You know what I'm saying? So this is, he put him in the system and it's working for him. And we always talk about, system and quarterbacks and some of these, we throw away a lot. Man, how many quarterbacks have been thrown away because we, not being in the right system, being with some bum ass coaches. Look
what's going on in Charlotte, man. I can't blame that young man.
I'm not blaming Bryce Young
and Carolina.
Anybody.
No.
You got to be kidding me. What he's playing with? Are you kidding me?
Nah.
Come on, bro.
Carolina Panther fans, y'all can't be mad at Bryce Young.
Y'all need to be mad at your general manager and the people who moved up to draft and didn't draft nothing else. And then now you got nothing.
And let's not get the smoke for the owner too. This is he's owned the team for 6 years. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, people are not happy with Tepper and Charlotte. I could assure you that. That's the word in the street. So
yeah.
But hey, Seattle got a way to come. They can absolutely bounce back. They got San Francisco two times, and they're at home. Let me see. Yeah, they're at home next week.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco. They got the Cowboys, and they got San Francisco again. So this 3-game stretch for Seattle is going to be tough.
Right.
But if they want to get back in the mix, they're going to have to put the smack down and beat the Niners next week. They got 2 times to either sweep them or split.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I got to give a shout out my our cuz Big Mike. He's in town, man, for the Cowboys. Shout out to all the Cowboys that made their mecca to Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte.
Pilgrimage.
And they pretty much took over Bank of America Stadium, and that was pretty much a home game for the Cowboys on yesterday, man.
I know this wasn't on the docket, but
no, it's not,
God, bro. I mean,
Carolina's awful.
Dallas is. I mean, they was just smoking the poor quarterback Bryce, man. I was like, it was awful, man. It was
and it's
awful.
fault. Be mad at the general managers. Be mad that they took him the way that they took him.
Yes.
And now y'all are awful again this year.
Again, and no picks.
Just
come
saying.
on, man.
He would have been there. He would have been there at whatever. What did they take him at third? They would have been. He would have been there.
No, they picked one. Before they made the trade. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. What do we know? I just been watching sports all my life.
Man. We just sitting back on that. We just a podcaster.
Yeah, we're just podcaster. Yeah. Just a podcaster.
Just a podcaster.
Yeah. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At least I ain't on the sidelines. Nope. I'm not going there. I'm not even gonna do that to myself. Nope.
Yeah. We're gonna take the high road.
They go high.
No, we're gonna take the high road.
If they go low, we go high.
I don't got the address to the high road. But, yeah.
Let me move on to the last game before we get on out of here. Minnesota Vikings against Denver last night. That was a Sunday night game, man. Listen, I got to offer apology to the Denver Broncos and their organization. I killed them early. I killed Sean Payton. I was like, man, Sean Payton came in here and thinking, and they finally looks like they have righted the ship. Denver defeated the Vikings yesterday 21-20. Let me read this from the AP. Stymied all night by the Vikings' smothering defense, Russell Wilson never lost faith in his sputtering offense, whose first 9 drives ended with Will Lutz kicking 5 field goals and Riley Dixon punting 4 times, which is an amazing feat as it is. We just believe in each other. We knew we was going to win this game, Wilson said, after driving Denver on its only touchdown drive in the closing minutes for a 21-20 victory over Minnesota on Sunday night, and in the NFL's longest winning streak at 5 games by the numbers. Wilson was 27-35, 259 yards, 1 TD. Joshua Dobbs, which is another, that's like my number 3 story in the NFL. He was 20-32, 221 yards, 1 TD, 1 bad interception. This was a defensive struggle, and me and D-W was watching this game last night, and shout out to the Broncos, man. So they have turned it around. They're 5-5, back in playoff contention, maybe. With 7 games left, we'll see. Your thoughts, D?
Oh man, shout outs to Cortland. What's his
Yes,
name? Sutter.
The second, yes.
Yo, he caught a beautiful ball. He just out jumped everybody and caught that. Went up and got that ball.
Yeah, for the game winning.
For the game
yes.
winner. Pretty much, and Minnesota tried, but the Broncos defense was, they was amped up and they came to play. Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, Joshua Dobbs.
Dobbs, man. Hey, he had a good game. He got 1 pick, 1 TD, 20-32, 221. So, definitely not his fault. Vikings could have won that game. But came up short. So, 21-20. I'm not going to be mad at. It was a tough game and the Broncos pulled it out. So, but a very good, entertaining game for those that watched. And like I said, Minnesota 6-5. They 3 games behind Detroit.
Yeah.
And Denver is 5-5. So 5-5. They might can get in. We'll see how that goes. 7 games left. Kansas City is 7-2. So we don't think they're going to catch them. So they're going to have to work their magic. Be better than everybody else in other divisions. So, but good game overall. Good game.
Yeah, good game. Good game. Definitely to end the before Thanksgiving. So
Russell Wilson seemed to find his
groove back.
His groove. It's 27-35, 259, 1 TD. He's holding it together. So
yeah. We're a little early, and me and D used to be in the transit world, so we're a little bit early before the train stops. A couple games yesterday. We talked about the Carolina and Dallas game. Giants and Washington, as we're both Giants fans, we absolutely did not want the Giants to win this game yesterday, and I don't know what's up with Washington's defense. Well, I don't know. The Giants couldn't score nothing the last 3 weeks. And all of a sudden they and no shade to Tommy DeVito, man. He's
no shade to Tommy, but
Tommy is who he is, man. And
Tommy, I really didn't need you to act like you know what you're doing. That was your time to shine. I mean, I know that sounds kind of crazy right now, but but Tommy, we appreciate you, no doubt. Yes. But
he played his best game of the year, man.
He played well.
Hey, and Saquon. He split out Saquon, and Saquon caught two touchdowns.
Caught 2 touchdowns, bro. I mean, Washington. Let me tell you about Washington, man. I'm sorry, man.
We love you, Ron. We love you, Coach Ron.
Man, but Ron, you gone. Let me tell you, Ron is gone. Bieniemy gone. That whole staff is gone. Everybody's gone. It's going to be clean house. I can almost guarantee you that staff is gone. And Bieniemy, I don't know what other job you go. You probably go back to Kansas City. I don't know, but this Washington team is awful. It doesn't even make no sense, man. They done traded away everybody. Awful. So
let me tell you. Let me tell you what's another awful deal. The
Yeah.
Jets can't score, bro. And they
Bro,
continue to put out Zach
they
Wilson
keep on
every Sunday.
pushing this guy out. Like, go ahead, you could do it. You could do it. I told y'all. But again, I'm just a little
Little
black boy,
podcast.
little black podcaster from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? What I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing. I'm just sitting here, talking, just observing what I'm seeing. And I've seen enough of Zach Wilson, and y'all keep on pushing him out there.
How
When y'all gonna stop?
how is if you're I know they're not saying that, but if you're on the defensive side of the ball, man, you got to be livid, man. You got to be like, man, we don't have a chance.
You don't.
We got to do all the work, and
Don't have a
after
chance.
that gets old after a while.
Yeah, it does.
It does. They keep. So Robert Saleh, this might be it. Aaron Rodgers, I don't even know why Rodgers would even try to even come back.
This is another thing. Yeah, man, he got dates. I said, please miss me with your dates, man. Yo, just sit your ass down. Nobody's looking for you. Nobody's checking for you, man. The team is horrible. Just wait. I heard news about him. The Jets are all in trying to get Devontae Adams. I'm like, yo, dog, okay, that would be great, but
yeah. Devontae Adams is still under contract with the Raiders.
Yes, he's still in contract, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to bolt out of there. And the Jets would have to make a trade. They would be
the Jets would have to trade. Correct.
So, that would probably be good. The feel good story, feels so good. What's that song? Reunited and it feels so good. Yeah,
Reunited feels so good.
Yeah. So the Jets this shit is terrible, man. It's off season. The air was out, came out immediately when Aaron got hurt. So
yeah, at the fourth place, that definitely it was definitely a wrap. So listen, we're going to get out of here. This will be our last show for this week. For Thanksgiving week, we will not be on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. And
enjoy your family, everybody.
Enjoy your family as we will do ours. We will enjoy our family, man. And listen, we will continue bringing this sports content to you every week, 3 times a week, and it's not going to stop when football season ends. We got some more stuff in that's coming because content is king.
Yep.
And we're here to bring the sports content to you.
Yep.
All the time, every time.
That's right.
So make sure you enjoy your family this Thanksgiving. We'll be back ramping it back up on the Gridiron College Rundown on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. this coming Sunday. So we'll probably have the rivalry games coming up, bunch of stuff, and then we'll go into the bowl season. So the Bahamas Bowl and to the Rose Bowl and to all the bowls in the middle, man. But hey, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L, your host and moderator. On behalf of D-Dub, the Mad Hatter, the rest of the guys, DA and the vet, with his dog, Mike Mills in their absence. Mike Mills in his absence. Dan the hockey dude, and for James the angry one, Warren, man. This is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be blessed. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Enjoy your family. Don't eat too much. Be good. Peace.